Ricky Rose, the time has come. Meech on February 13th. Get your tickets right now. It's going down. We know Florida gonna be there. Miami gonna be there. The legend himself gonna be in the building, making history. Meech, who else coming?
The whole nation. Detroit, St. Louis, California, everybody. Atlanta, Georgia, ATL, stand up.
Woo. We're gonna make history. Get your tickets right.
Have you ever seen anybody confront Rick Ross about you?
Not in person, no.
This story got the whole hip-hop scene buzzing.
This one has the whole hip-hop world buzzing like crazy. Word on the streets is that Big Meech, the true legend behind the Black Mafia family, finally snapped on Rick Ross after learning Ross had cut him off entirely. Yeah, the same Ross who built a huge piece of his boss persona off Meech's legacy. Now Meech is calling him out for being straight up fake, and people are saying this moment was bound to happen.
But is there any video of anybody hey, why are you running around with this dude's name?
I feel bad for Lil Meech. I don't feel bad for no grown man on this planet. Like, I'm a grown man. Why the f I gotta feel bad for another grown man? Like, you a grown man too. What you asking for my sympathy for? You be alright.
For years, Ross leaned heavy on the whole BMF vibe
For
to
years,
level up.
Ross relied heavily on that BMF aura to elevate his career. The shine, the flashy living, the power talk, all of it echoed what Meech represented in the culture. But now that Meech is locked up and can't defend his own name, Ross has been acting like that connection never existed, and folks close to Meech definitely caught it. Let's rewind. When Rick Ross dropped Blowing Money Fast, BMF, back in 2010, the track exploded instantly. Clubs, cars, block parties, the whole country had it on repeat.
You've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film. Which director? Shout out to my homie, F. Gary Gray, Antoine Foucault, what's up? Tarantino. It's a lot of legends. This is gonna be big. I can feel it. I'm just talking.
Ross used Meech's name like it was a trophy, even shouting out.
Ross used Meech's name like it was a championship ring, even shouting, "I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover," a line that made him look like the biggest street boss in the game. Fans genuinely thought Ross and Meech were tight, especially since Meech's brother, Southwest T, even showed Ross love during interviews back then. But more than a decade later, it all looks different, and the streets are paying attention. Reports say Meech's camp feels Ross took their name, flipped it into fame, and never showed real appreciation. Messages that people claim came straight from Meech hint that he's completely done rocking with Ross. He supposedly said, "Ross used my life like a mixtape and forgot the real ones behind it." If that's real, that's a heavy statement. Imagine sitting in a cell watching someone build an empire off your identity while you can't say a word. That's the frustration Meech is dealing with. Like Ross took the crown, kept running, and never turned back to honor the ones who lived that life for real. Ross, of course, stays quiet like he always does when the drama heats up. He either posts luxury flexes or pretends nothing's happening. But that silence only fueled things, because 50 Cent, who's producing the BMF series and actually tied to the real storyline, jumped in with his signature sharpness. He dropped a cryptic message: "You can't steal another man's life and call yourself real." Everyone knew exactly who that was aimed at. 50's been waiting to take shots at Ross for years, and Meech's frustration gave him the perfect opening.
Because I'm not trying to let nobody trick me off the streets. But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before the sign, always with me.
Fans started connecting the dots quick.
Fans started connecting dots fast. Ross stopped mentioning Meech, stopped bringing up BMF in interviews, and even unfollowed people tied to the movement. And when you mix silence with what feels like betrayal, the whispers get loud. To understand why Meech feels so disappointed, you have to look back at how deep the connection once seemed and how twisted it became. In the mid-2000s, when BMF was still dominating, Meech was already an icon. Flashy rides, huge parties, supporting artists before the world even knew them, his lifestyle reshaped hip-hop. And Rick Ross was one of the first rappers to turn Meech's energy into a full persona. The boss image, the Maybachs, the velvety luxury, the oversized confidence, all of it traced back to BMF style. At first, it looked like love. But everything shifted once old rumors about Ross's past job surfaced. Suddenly, people started questioning how authentic he really was. And using Meech's meme became his shortcut to keeping his street credibility alive. Ross doubled down on the BMF connection while Meech was fighting serious legal battles in court. Meech never dragged Ross publicly, but people around him said he hoped Ross would eventually give something back. Maybe support the family, maybe look out for BMF members still grinding. Something. But nothing came. Ross made millions, launched Maybach Music Group, built a global empire, all while giving barely a nod to the people who inspired that image. That's where the quiet tension began brewing. When the BMF TV series dropped under 50's direction, it brought the real story roaring back. It reminded everyone exactly where the culture came from, and made Ross's connection look even more questionable.
Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You ready? I will buy your masters.
People started asking loud, where's Ross in all this?
People started asking loudly, where's Ross in all this? Because he had zero involvement in the show. And that made fans look sideways. If he really lived that BMF lifestyle he rapped about, why wasn't he showing support when the true story hit the screen? That question definitely reached Meech's cell. Soon after, reports surfaced saying Meech allegedly told close friends, "He was never one of us. He played the part, but never paid the price." That line spread through the streets fast. And of course, 50 jumped in on cue. On Instagram Live, he joked that Ross thought he was Meech, but the real Meech just woke up. Comments went crazy. Fans said 50 just said what a lot of real ones had been thinking whenever someone copies a lifestyle they never truly lived. Ross didn't respond publicly. He never does once 50 starts talking. But insiders say he was heated behind the scenes. People close to him claim he feels disrespected because he believes he showed Meech love through the music. But love without loyalty hits different, and Meech isn't feeling it. From Meech's view, everyone outside is making money off his legacy. Rappers, TV creators, everyone. While the man who lived it is behind bars. He expected Ross to keep the respect alive. Instead, Ross got rich and drifted away from the source of the whole image. And 50? He isn't just reacting, he's strategizing. The moment Meech's frustration hit the blogs, 50 pounced, dropping memes and BMF clips like he had them preloaded. One post read, "Real BMF business, not the rap version." Fans went wild. It was 50 basically saying, this is real authenticity, not a persona built for charts. Ross tried to stay cool, posting mansion shots, exotic animals, captions like, "Real bosses stay unbothered." But even those posts backfired. Comments flooded with, "Meech made you," and "Stop flexing off another man's life." The internet never misses. Once they sense a crack, they swarm. And for the first time, Ross's boss image started to look shaky. Meanwhile, word from the inside says Meech has been sending messages making sure his truth gets out. One of them allegedly said, "I don't need credit, but I deserve respect." That line hit hard. He's not chasing fame, he wants honesty, he wants loyalty. Before long, the whole situation turned into a digital wildfire. Podcasts jumped in, YouTube channels dropped non-stop breakdowns, and fans started picking sides like it was a championship fight. Team Meech or Team Ross. 50 kept adding fuel, hinting he might even bring Ross into a future BMF episode just to show the difference between acting like a boss and being one. Classic 50, petty, precise, and calculated. And Ross's reputation took another hit when people compared how 50 supports Meech's family versus how Ross moves. 50 stays tapped in with little Meech, who plays his father on the show, and pushes that young man's growth every chance he gets. Meanwhile, Ross is nowhere to be found. No calls, no shout-outs, no acknowledgement at all. Fans called it flat-out disrespect, especially since Ross built a huge part of his brand and success off Meech's legacy to begin with. You could literally feel the shift happening in real time. People started realizing maybe 50 had been right from the jump. In hip-hop, image is everything. And right now, Ross looks cornered. He can't clap back at 50 because 50 controls the whole narrative. He can't deny what Meech is saying because those words hit heavy both inside and outside the culture. And if he stays quiet, it just makes him look like he's dodging the truth. No matter how Ross moves, the situation gets messier, and 50 looks like he's enjoying every second of the chaos. Now, let's talk about what's coming next, because this story isn't slowing down. The tension between Big Meech, Rick Ross, and 50 Cent has exploded into a full-on cultural moment, and fans are demanding Ross address Meech directly. Not with mansion photos, not with exotic pets, not with vague motivational quotes, actual words. Viewers now want Ross to show real respect, fix things, or at least admit where he went wrong. But knowing Ross, he might try to lay low and hope the noise dies out. The problem is 50 isn't letting anything slide. He just dropped an interview saying, "Everybody wanna be real until it's time to be real." Meech was the blueprint. Ross just copied the page. That quote spread like wildfire, and even major outlets picked it up, putting even more pressure on Ross to respond. And here's the truth. Once 50 locks onto somebody, it's a wrap. He doesn't back off, he doesn't forget, and he knows exactly how to turn a feud into cultural currency. Ross staying silent right now makes him look shaky. Fans are dragging him online, saying, "You can't call yourself the biggest boss if the real boss just checked you." That kind of talk sticks. Meanwhile, Meech's message keeps echoing across the culture. People close to him say he's calm, focused, and not even trying to stir the pot. He just wants his story told correctly. That's why his words hit harder. They're not about drama, they're about truth, respect, and making sure nobody twists his legacy for their own shine. Because at the end of the day, it's about honoring what's real. In a world full of staged power and fake personas, Meech is reminding everybody what genuine respect looks like. That's why fans are riding for him, because they can feel this isn't a publicity stunt. It's personal. It's rooted in reality. Ross is standing at a major crossroads. If he apologizes, he admits he slipped. If he stays quiet, it looks like he's pretending nothing happened. Either way, the hit already landed. The same man who once rapped, "I think I'm Big Meech," now looks like the complete opposite. And 50 Cent is making sure the world doesn't forget it. Every time Ross posts anything, 50 pops up with a slick meme or sharp jab reminding everyone, that boss talk wasn't yours to begin with. It's ruthless and honestly kind of hilarious. But this entire situation goes deeper than simple hip-hop beef. It's about legacy. Big Meech created something that still inspires people decades later. Ross may have drawn from that energy, but you can't fake authenticity forever. 50 just used his platform to highlight that truth, and fans grabbed onto it instantly. Now the streets are buzzing, blogs are going crazy, and everyone's watching to see what Ross does next. One thing's for sure, you don't play games with legends. And if the rumors are real, Rick Ross learned that lesson the hard way. Because when Big Meech speaks, the whole culture listens. And this time, the message came through loud and clear. You can't cut off the real and still expect people to treat you like you're real yourself.